Moin Khan is a 25-year-old Pakistani who's riding a motorbike from San Francisco to his home city of Lahore, and he's not going in a straight line. So far, he's covered 19,000 miles and ended up in Romania. His aim is to change perceptions of his home country. But in the Romanian city of Arad, the journey nearly came to an abrupt end when Moin was in a serious accident. His bike was wrecked and he was taken to hospital with broken bones. That was just over a month ago. Now, thanks to an amazing response from Romania and beyond, the bike has been restored to life and Moin is sufficiently recovered to get back on. Now in Bucharest, he told me the idea for the trip came while he was studying in San Francisco.
While I was going to school 3 years ago, every day waking up to something negative on the news about Pakistan, and I was like, if I do this and I'm on the news, there'll be at least one thing positive from Pakistan or about Pakistan on the news.
Have you always loved motorbikes?
I've always loved motorbikes, yes.
And do you remember your first ride on a motorbike?
Yes, a family carpenter used to come to our house who had a very old 70cc Honda motorcycle, which I stole while he was working inside. I was 11 or 12 years old. I stole his bike. I rode all around Lahore, and after like 3.5 or 4 hours, I ran out of gas and I just walked home.
Did you get into terrible trouble?
I got in a lot of trouble. My mom grounded me for a few weeks and it was really bad.
So why did you decide to make the trip from San Francisco to Lahore?
Basically, nothing was decided before I left. I don't have any maps or GPS, and I had just finished university. I worked for 1.5 years and ate rice and ketchup to save up money. And I didn't have money for a GPS and a bunch of maps, so I just left with no plans. I just had a map in my head going from San Francisco to Canada, and then down to Chicago, and then to Toronto back again, and then to New York.
So it's a bit of a zigzag route.
It is, yeah, it is, but I wanted to touch all the corners I could of the world. That's why from Germany I went down to France, Marseille, then I went to Rome. I tried to, stretch it as much as I could.
And tell me about the bike that you're riding, because that must be pretty robust, isn't it, to cope with all these miles?
It is, yeah, and I'm actually not riding a touring bike. I'm riding a sport bike, which is meant to be on the track for an hour and a half. You race it and then you just park it. And riding for 15 hours a day, doing over 700-800 miles in a day, this bike is not made for it. But sport bikes are my passion, and I wanted to just do it on this. I know usually people don't do this long journey on such bikes, but this is just what I love.
So now I gather that you had an accident, a terrible accident in the Romanian city of Arad. What happened? Can you tell me about the lead up to that?
Yes, I entered Romania. I was really excited to ride the world's most famous road that is in Romania. It's called the Transfăgăraș. And while I was going towards that, a car took an illegal left turn right in front of me, and I went straight head on into it. I was going about 60-65 kilometers an hour, and I didn't have any time to brake at all. I flew about 60-65 feet in the air. I now know how cool Superman feels when he's flying. And then I was hospitalized for about 5 days. I broke 2 ribs in my back, and I have a fractured thumb. But I'm really glad to go through this experience as well, because I haven't been in a hospital before, and Romanians have impressed me so much.
Well, that's looking on the bright side, isn't it? You had a very good response, I think.
Yes, they've been so helpful. They've been just spectacular. It's been amazing. I'm actually glad. If I have a chance to do this all over again, I want to crash again in Romania, because people were just superb.
And did people come to visit you in hospital?
Yes, on the 3rd day, this random guy just opened the door and just started shouting, "Pakistan, Pakistan," and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And this guy, Daniel, came in and he said he read in the news that some motorcycle guy from San Francisco crashed in Arad. So he called all the hospitals asking if there's a guy from San Francisco or Pakistan over there, and they told him, yeah, he's on second floor. So he just randomly came to see me, and he also rides motorcycles. So we talked for an hour, and then he left, got me a new cell phone with a local number, and he got me internet. Right now, Daniel and myself are best friends. He has my bike in Arad, and he's fixing it for me right now.
And I think you also had visits from the driver who caused the accident.
Yes, he's an amazing, amazing guy. You know, everybody makes mistakes. You can't hate them for a silly mistake.
Now, I'm interested in how you managed to make this trip without a map or without GPS. Do you get lost a lot?
I don't get lost because there is no plan. All I have to do is stop at a gas station or any random person, and I just ask him if in that local area there's a cool spot to go. And sometimes, language barrier, they can't explain it to me properly. I've been going all over the place. There's no set route that I have to be here on this time or something. It just keeps going. And once I got lost, I was coming from Toronto to New York. From Toronto, you enter Buffalo, New York, and then you go to New York City in the same state. But somehow from Buffalo, New York, I went down to Pennsylvania. And in Pennsylvania, I asked a cop, how far is New York City? And he said, you're in Pennsylvania. And I was in the state of Pennsylvania for 3 hours, and I didn't even know. So if I had a map or a GPS, I probably wouldn't have seen Pennsylvania state. So I'm very, very happy that I didn't have any maps or GPS.
Right. I understand that. And how long do you think it's going to take you to get to Lahore?
I started on 10th July, and I was hoping to be in Lahore on 10th November. But due to the crash, I had to rest for, at least 4 weeks. And I think 1st December, I'm hoping to start again.
And in a way, will you be finding out new things about your own country, about Pakistan, as you make the journey through Pakistan to Lahore?
Oh yes, I haven't traveled within Pakistan at all. I've just been to a couple main cities, and that's about it. And riding through the small villages, it will be amazing to see what other parts in Pakistan look like. I haven't even seen them, and how people are over there. I'm really excited about that.
They say that travel broadens the mind. Have you learnt anything from your journey so far, do you think?
I think 12 years of high school and 4 years of university, total 16 years. I've learned more in these 4 months than in 16 years in college.
What sort of things?
Things like how people care for each other. I think if everybody starts riding motorcycles in this world will be the best place to be.
Moin Khan speaking to me from Bucharest. There are pictures of him on our Facebook page, as usual. Just search for Outlook BBC World Service. But that's all from today's programme. I'm Matthew Bannister. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow with more extraordinary personal stories from around the world. Join me then if you can.